Oklahoma has now passed a second ban on abortion. They had a full-on ban of abortion that they basically are waiting to see what happens with Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court. But now they have passed a bill that is not unlike what we have seen in Texas. This is basically the bounty hunter bill, where you can get sued if you are involved in an abortion in any way. It incentivizes lawsuits by offering rewards of at least $10,000 to successful ones.
It's also a 6-week ban, like the Texas one as well.
Yes. And here is a clip from the Oklahoma State House. Oklahoma State Senator Warren Hamilton and Republican, and Senator Julie Daniels, Republican.
Then you recognize for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. President. And my question is starts on page 3. On line 9, we have a bullet there where, no pun intended, which states that abortion is okay to remove an ectopic pregnancy. And can you explain to me why that exception is in there?
Thank you for the question. This is language I didn't focus on too much. Oh, it's what abortion does not include. I cannot say why that particular language is in here, but to me it would be common sense to put that language in here.
Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. President. But a child who is, in fact, living out part of his or her early life as the unfortunate circumstance of being an ectopic pregnancy is, in fact, still a unique human being with its own DNA. And I wonder, I guess I just don't understand why we've created an exception where we allow those children
oh my God,
to be murdered, but not the others.
Thank you for the question. We provided very limited exceptions in this bill, but I can only speak to support of the bill's language.
Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. President. The same kind of general gist on page 4.
Hold on, pause it for 1 second. Pause it for 1 second. I have to stop it. An ectopic pregnancy cannot even lead to the birth of a child, as far as I know. It is when the egg is outside of the uterus.
It's also incredibly dangerous for the woman. It can lead to the woman's death.
It is the egg
and requires, in many instances, surgical intervention. Those kinds of things.
And the point of this is you have people who are writing bills about this, and this guy doesn't want any exceptions. We're going to see that, but they have no idea what they're talking about. All you need to do is Google ectopic pregnancies. This is the thing. They don't care about the children. First of all, a fetus is not a child. It's not a baby. It's a fetus, or it's an embryo. An ectopic pregnancy is none of those things. They want to control pregnancies. They want to control birthing.
Women.
They want to control women's bodies, period. Continue with his problem with other exceptions.
Same kind of general gist on page 4. Remember, our goal is to protect unborn children. The implication, or the unstated implication, would be we want to protect unborn children except those who are the product of rape or incest, or those who happen to be in an ectopic pregnancy. And I wonder how we square that with the idea of justice for all, in that we're killing a person because his daddy was a rapist or an incestual creep.
Yep. No mention of the woman there. She is just a vessel in which to sire the child of a rapist. That's it.
Yep.
And to be honest, though, it's consistent. If you believe that this is a actual person who, despite the fact that they cannot feed themselves or eat for themselves or exist outside of the womb, without literally a physical connection to the mother, literally a feeding tube that comes from the mother. If you believe that, then yes, you should not have any exemptions from exceptions in terms of your abortion law. You should, of course, jail the mother, jail the doctor, jail anybody who gets involved in this. I mean,
Jail the
work
mother.
their way there.
Jail the mother if her fallopian tubes are so liberal and murderous and ungodly that they accidentally get an egg trapped in there and then the woman has to have surgery. I mean, honestly, we should prosecute those pathetic fallopian tubes or whatever. But like, whatever. He has no idea what an ectopic pregnancy is when he says bullet, no pun intended, right? He at the beginning of that, he's saying, oh, all the left wants to murder babies. No, you want to murder women. Like, you really do. You're fine with women dying from ectopic pregnancies if he even understood it, if you're able to just, further this agenda. And there's such ignorance about it too, in just dealing with like birth control on my end and like making those kinds of decisions. If I didn't have health insurance and the pill wasn't covered or those kinds of things, and like it is the case for a lot of women in this country, a pregnancy happening is a lot more likely in those instances. And they want to punish you not just for being a woman, but for being a poor woman as well. And eventually they'll come for the birth control too. But yeah.
It's this is the future, folks. It's going to happen. It's going to happen very shortly. To the extent that it hasn't already.
It's like from here. Remember when Trump said, "Well, there has to be some sort of punishment for the woman." Like the truth is that there's no sort of capability within the Republican Party to stand up to this sort of motivation. If
you're too poor to have sex, and so you're going to be punished for it, for not, waiting until you're married and being sufficiently successful in our capitalist system.